Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Buyer's Remorse with Darren and Justin.
Yeah, let's go before it gets any later. Darren, shut up, stop talking, go.
Hello and welcome to Buyer's Remorse. I'm Justin.
I'm Darren.
Here on Buyer's Remorse, we find games that are untouched or unplayed in each other's libraries and force that person to give the game they bought a try for 60 minutes to tell us if it is a wonderful buyer's confirmation or the dreaded buyer's remorse. What game did I give you this time?
Big belly rumble there. The Mystery of Happyville.
Yes, all right. Tell us a bit about Happyville.
So it's Studio HK, publisher and developer, released on July 20th, 2018. And it says, when the sleepy little town of Happyville suddenly cuts off contact with the outside world, nobody could have predicted the sinister happenings that were occurring far away from civilization's prying eye.
This is made by a developer that we've played other games of, correct?
Studio HK sounds familiar. They have made... No. Maybe you have. I haven't. They've got another game called Bullet Line and another game called Too Many Weapons.
No, I don't think I've played those.
No, I don't know this. This game, though, it basically, you control this kind of Agent 47 hitman-looking guy, black suit, white shirt, red tie, bald head, and you start off at like a crime scene. There's like a cordoned off thing. So you're like an FBI agent or something like that. So it's like they've cordoned off the road. There's reporters, there's flashing cameras, and then you basically walk through a forest, and then there's like big, huge boxes in the way, so you punch them out of the way, and then you take a few corners, and there's policemen hanging midair with balloons tied around their necks, and they're all dead. So you make your way through these bodies, and then everyone who you come up against is crazy, and everyone just tries to kill you. So it's like there's some weird disease or virus that's made everybody go bananas, and they're all trying to kill you. But luckily, they've left lots of weapons lying on the ground. You're like, so many guns just lying everywhere, and axes and stuff. And so, yeah, you just have to dispatch everyone with extreme prejudice.
Do the people look cartoonish?
They look very blocky. It's almost like Roblox. Like it's like Hitman Minecraft edition. You know? It's weird. Yeah, it's that kind of blocky kind of style. So,
is there lots of blood?
Lots of blood. Yeah, you can chop their heads off, arms off, legs off, shoot them in the kneecaps, whatever. You just basically blast and cut your way through zones. There's no levels. It's just like one continuous, seamless loop to the end of the game. Not a loop, just road to the end of the game.
Okay. Have you played Dead Rising?
No, but I know Dead Rising, yeah.
I just wonder if it's somewhat like that. There are tons of weapons around and having to get there. But of course, there's different objectives which start different things, and there's some boss fights. Are there any boss fights?
There's no boss fights. There's just different enemies. So you start off with the normal guys, and then you get into a subway, I think. Now you go through the forest, then you get into a town where there's like people with like televisions on their heads, and they got like big happy faces on them, and so that's your next boss, and then that's your next kind of enemy, and then finally you get these weird, like, I don't know, Pennywise clowns that come out of nowhere, but they're fast and they just run at you, and they've got weapons as well, and they slice you up. But yeah, you die, and then you just respawn, and then
do you have infinite lives?
You got infinite lives, but it puts you back. Like, depending on where you die in the zones, it'll put you right back to the very beginning. But everyone that you've killed remains dead, so you just got to kind of run back to where you are. It's a bit awkward. There's a stamina bar, but it's invisible, so you can't infinitely run. You run out of breath, and if you rest for a few steps, then you press shift again, you can run like a little bit. So you gotta take a few steps, and then you hold shift, and you can run for a little bit longer. But you can't see the stamina bar, but it exists. Guns have 6 shots, I think, and then they run out, but there's no indication of that. And so once they're done, you just gotta toss them and pick up a new one. To be honest, ammunition and weapons are not an issue in this game. Like, there's so many of them just lying around everywhere. But eventually, you get to a lab. You find another agent who looks exactly like you. he's got a key card. You take the key card, you go through, there's some snipers, you get to the end of the game, finish all this in an hour. It's only about an hour long. You get to the end of the game, and it's like this big open, you're up on the platform, and then it lights up down below, and it's just full of these clowns. End. It's like, that's the game.
Is that leading into the sequel, you think, then?
Maybe. It feels like this is like a, what do you call it, like a test game, like an early access kind of thing. But it's not. This is the full game. And it was made 5 years ago now, and nothing else has come out since.
How much was it?
It's $5, but I got it for 50 cents.
Okay. I think that does factor in here.
Yeah, because it was on sale recently in the Steam summer sale. It was on sale recently. So that could be any time. Like, that's probably the winter sale's probably passed when this comes out. But it's like it does go for 50 cents. It's definitely not a $5 game. Let's put it that way.
But is it a $1 game?
Yeah, definitely.
Given that you played it for an hour.
Twice.
It's twice now, okay. Do you think you'll play it a third time?
I don't think so. I think I'm kind of done. If I had like things to find or lore or something that built up, there's nothing really. At least I couldn't find anything. There's a couple of scraps of paper around. There's things written on the walls, like, beware the smiley faces and stuff like that. And so there are some bits, but there's not a lot of world building.
Was it fun enough, though? I mean, with it being only an hour, that's one thing that I have been complaining about, is that some games are just too long. This, as an hour, is a fun thing you could jump into kind of any afternoon where you've got time. Is it fun enough to want to do? Did you enjoy doing it the second time?
I did. I enjoyed it. But again, a third time, I probably wouldn't. Because I think I've seen pretty much everything there is to see, so I'd only be going into it to like watch the kind of ragdoll physics when you cut someone's arm off and it goes flying away.
Is it a fun challenge?
Not really. I mean, it's fun, but there's really nothing challenging about it. You get to a point, you run out of bullets, or you don't swing the axe in the right time, and then you die, and then you just get respawned. You just go back again. So there's no real challenge to it.
So there's no replayability, like alternate paths to choose or anything.
No, nothing like that. But I'd say honestly, for 50 cents, this was well worth it. Definitely, like easy peasy, kind of 1 hour, no frills, just a bit of gory fun.
Would you recommend this game to me?
Yeah. I think you'd like it. I think you would, especially like you said, given the length and the silliness of it. And it's just like you can pick it up for 50 cents, and then you can play it for an hour and be like, yeah, I'm done, and I'm satisfied.
Who would you recommend it to?
People that like, it's a little bit creepy, so maybe people that like a little bit creepy games. I'd say this is probably more aimed at kids really than adults.
What age would you put it at?
Maybe teenagers.
Just roughly.
No, it's not aimed at like 7, 8 years, 8-year-olds. It's probably more aimed at teenagers, I'd guess.
Is there another game that you would compare it to that maybe people could base it on, either the violence level or just kind of what kind of game it might be? Like
something like I think it's not exactly the same type of game, but I got vibes of like Amanda the Adventurer or like the Garden of Banban. It's like that level of kind of weird creepiness, but it's not the same art style at all. It's different, but it's got that feeling to it where it's like there's something uneasy, uncanny, something's not right, and then you get attacked by killer clowns and things like that later on. But yeah, it plays like a twin stick shooter. So you're moving the mouse around and you rotate your character around to hit, but you're at the same time you're using WASD to control your character.
You normally don't like twin stick shooters, though.
No, but this one's quite easy, and it's also got like a kind of auto aim. So even if you're off, your bullets still seem to just like track right into them. As long as you're facing the general direction, you're gonna hit them.
Okay, that's kind of fun. What tags would you give it?
I'd say it is. Well, I'm just gonna go by what they've got here. It is it's kind of a little bit of a gory game, so I'd give it the gore tag because there's a lot of blood. Creepy, and I guess it's an action game. Yeah, it's kind of, it reminds me of like an old style short flash game that was quite good and technical, and it's like you'd be impressed with it. Like, oh wow, this was on on Armor Games. You'd be This is great. Those would be the tags. And
well, just think of that. I know that you like Armored Head. Would you put this up for people who like Armored Head?
Armored Head is an arena shooter, though. It's been with lots of different weapons. This is like, yeah, not really like that, but it's there's like 3 or 4 weapons in the game. But yeah, there are mobs that attack you and stuff like that, and you're making your way through this kind of story, I guess, But yeah, it's I don't know, it's more like a third person walk through this village to get to this facility at the end. Yeah.
All right. And would you say this is, I already know the answer, but a wonderful buyer's confirmation or a dreaded buyer's remorse?
It's a confirmation, yeah. It's so good, I played it twice.